Ever since I walked off the stage of my 5th grade music recital, I knew I wanted to be a musician. It was as if there was this gene that was dormant waiting to be unlocked that whole time. And the second I stood in front of a crowd and sang, I knew that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Throughout high school and even middle school, I was playing in bands, I was playing at open mics, I was in talent shows. I mean, that was all I did. It completely took over my life. Even in college, I was doing the same thing, where music was the priority and school and education seemed kind of to be less important than that. I was solely dedicated to playing music, and I got my first gig, full-time gig, playing at an Irish pub when I was in my junior year of college. And that's when everything started to take off. I was making a regular paycheck by performing for people. And though it was less than ideal because I was playing in an Irish pub where the last thing people wanted to hear was this curly-haired white boy in his, early 20s singing "Your Body is a Wonderland." That was not what people wanted to hear at the time, but I was still making a paycheck. I was still paying my dues and getting a taste of what it would be like if I performed music full time. From that point onward, I was performing everywhere and anywhere I could get my hands on. Eventually started to play at wineries in the east side of Washington State. Everything from DeLille Cellars to Columbia Winery to Chateau Ste. Michelle. I mean, all of these big wineries were having me perform for their tasting rooms and private events. And then eventually I transitioned to playing weddings and corporate events, and I was really making a full go at this. I was able to sustain myself as a full-time musician. The thing that I had wanted to do my whole life, I was finally doing full-time. Then COVID-19 hit, and I lost every single gig that I could possibly imagine. My whole livelihood is dependent upon performing in front of people, and what are people not doing right now? They're not gathering in public spaces. So in the meantime, I've tried to brainstorm ways to hack that problem. And if there's one thing that artists all have in common, it's that if you tell us we can't do something, we will try and find a way to do it. What I've been doing is I've been live streaming performances. I have an album that was supposed to be released in May, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it all had to be put on hold. And I have all of this content that I really want to share with people, but I didn't get the chance to do it because of COVID-19. So in the meantime, as a way to help pay the rent, because ultimately that's what I'm trying to do now, I want to give people access to that in return for a monthly subscription of your choosing. Hopefully my friends and my fans will see the worth in that and hopefully feel inclined to pledge. And it could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $10, and I definitely won't stop you from any more than that. But in the meantime, I'm asking for your help, and in return, I want to give you access to all of these songs, all of these videos, all of this artwork that hasn't been released yet, as a way to make it by in the next few months, because we don't know how long this pandemic is going to last. With that, I want to welcome you to my Patreon page, the 2.0 Patreon page. I have nothing but time on my hands right now to either be working on this page or writing music of my own and hosting a live stream every week for you. So please consider being a patron today, and hopefully by the end of this, I can buy you all a beer for your generosity. So look around and see what you think.